Grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, grand rest wherever you are, beloved multiversal soul familia. Hey, welcome back. This is day 2 of 6 steps towards joy. It's a little more like the image of a caterpillar enclosing itself in a cocoon in order to go through the metamorphosis to emerge as a butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't say, well, now I'm going to climb into this cocoon and come out a butterfly. It's just an inevitable process. It's inevitable. It's just happening. It's got to happen that way. And what is it that I'm speaking of, beloveds? Well, the second step towards joy is to be here now. To be here now. To direct our thoughts out of the past and away from the future to the ever present now. Observe without judgment what is now. And the inquiry is, am I here right now? Let's light some tallow. Yay, I took a pause to save on recording time. We do have the tallow going. It's about time to refresh the tallow. I'm down to this little nub. And was actually thinking about going back to sprays like sage and tallow sprays that are smoke free. Sometimes it's not always ideal for me to burn the different plants. I have to remember that it's not always a pleasant experience for others. We're going to have some candles going in the background. Ooh, this one wants to be a little stubborn. The wick is short. We'll see what happens, but I may have to switch this one out. Dang it all. Let's see if we can get it a little more wick exposure going on here. When you have quieted your mind enough and transcended your ego enough, you can hear how it really is. When you are with a candle flame, you are the candle flame. So, what does it even mean to just simply be in the now? And when you are with other beings, mind, you are the other being's mind. And when there is a task to do, you are the task. So we're going to go into the Work Your Light deck again today, as mentioned in yesterday's first submission for this mini series. We are going to draw 3 cards from the Work Your Light deck for each day of 6 steps towards joy. So, the lingering question is, where can we redirect to be more ever present? One more card, please. One more card, and there it goes. All right. Actually, it goes in this order. We'll do our best to keep this simple and sweet. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution and expression. So, you can be in the now and in motion. I sincerely believe that, but I'm not here to convince everyone. You can be focused on a form of creative expression and be in the now and transmuting. As that quote was saying, the caterpillar doesn't pay any mind to being a caterpillar, nor does it pay any mind to being the butterfly. It just is. It just is. And we can transcend that illusion of being stuck in a certain frequency, like depression or anxiety, by choosing a form of creative expression with the primary focus being on overcoming that tug of war with our higher selves, our present self, and at war with our higher selves. Let's take a look at Share Your Voice. Come out of the cave. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. Give me just one moment. My fur companion decided she was going to open my door, so I'll be right back. spot. Go on. Go to your spot. All right. Back to the task at hand. We are, excuse me, I'm going to begin again. And I'm going to stoke that pillow once more. Transmuting the tongue-tied, tongue-twisting before it gets out of hand. Yes. Okay. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. But remember, watch out for that ego cropping up, because the truth is the truth at the end of the day. Not my truth, not your truth, but the truth. And the truth, in many facets, is sculpted throughout our soul history and growth, as well as that of others. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Express yourself, share your voice, and speak to those who can hear you. Here we are, here and now. That's all there is. And if it isn't beautiful, man, there's nothing. So you say, well, I can't have it beautiful now, but later, when we get the food home, it will be beautiful. Later never exists. What happens to life insurance, to tenure, to planning, saving, responsibility? Nothing's happened to any of it. You can't be in your thoughts anymore because your thoughts are still in time and space and you can't get out of time through them. You've got to be outside that. You've got to be in the place where you see your own birth, childhood, adolescence, maturity, age, death, conception, birth, childhood. And not only that, but that one, and that one, and that one too. All from being ever present in the now. And then what is there to be held if nothing is real except for now? Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations and divine plan. These teachings of being ever present have been passed around by others, much like us. So how is this relevant to the now? Hmm. Seeding the light. Anna was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being. And this is giving me like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater vibes. Like, being in the now, we're being guided to direct our thoughts out of the past, but there are still some golden rays of wisdom, some golden nuggets, golden nectar from what we are taught to perceive as the past, which could very well be just a parallel existence, a parallel life, a multiverse coexisting, co-creating. Expression of itself. In the now. As the now is all there is. dreaming a new world into being while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant, but it is an option. It is an option. And you can still be in the now and in motion and partaking in creative expression, beloveds. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. And this is saying in so many words that we are not measured by our progress, our productivity, yet our presence is valued. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all together to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. And there is an activation that goes with this card. Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender my part of the divine plan. Sorry guys, I had to do some adjusting that would not have been appropriate on camera. So here we are. I was extremely uncomfortable the way I was sitting. We'll just put it that way and leave it alone from there. When seeding your light, just know wherever you are, be there totally. These are like Ram Dass teachings. But I'm not encouraging you to go fangirl a guru or worship another mortal. I would encourage to listen in from time to time from elders, because there are some golden nuggets to be found that can be carried on without being so hopelessly devoted to the teacher that we lose sight of that teacher is also seeding the light as we are also seeding the light. And so therefore, that the teacher is no more significant than the student, the guide, the speaker, than the listener. And they can really do nothing for us except work on themselves. And we can do nothing for them but work on ourselves. And if we think we are already free, there is no escape. Just because you are seeing divine light, experiencing waves of bliss, or conversing with God is no reason to not know your zip code. Laying foundations, figuratively speaking, beloveds. And another good Ram Dass quote is, early in the journey, you wonder how long the journey will take and whether you will make it in this lifetime. Later, you will see that where you are going is here, and you will arrive now. So stop asking. In terms of moving mountains, the humor in that is that finally, when you have the power to move the mountain, you are the person who placed it there, so there the mountain stays. Let's see, deep replenishment is the third card. So there is this balance between coming out of the cave and creative expression, as well as deep replenishment by retreat, rest, and being held. And interestingly enough, and you watched me shuffle these cards, you watched me lay them down face down. I have not seen this card yet, but I mentioned what even is it to be held or to hold anything, to have ownership of anything, to possess anything, if nothing is real and nothing exists in this deep replenishment. Not only is there that question of what can be held, but also what can be lost or abandoned. Yet we're still being called to have this, to lay this, our own divine plan and foundation built on both expression and retreat, coming out of the cave and replenishing deep in the caverns. In this case, she's not necessarily appearing to be in a cavern, because the cavern is within. In this visual, we have the actual physical external interpretation. In this one, it is an inward, invisible, unseen interpretation. And both have equal significance. Deep replenishment. Giving reverence to both, I just heard. Creative expression and retreat. Interesting. I'm not sure why. Okay. So, dang. Hold on. That was a jerk move. Give me just one moment, you guys. I need to pause. Okay. The most selfless thing we can do is to fill up our own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. We are no good to anyone if we're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill it. This is our body's instinctive way of reaching for the grounding and nurturing that we are not allowing ourselves. So, this tending to our own gardens theme has been unpacking in our orbit. Like it just kind of moved in. And it seems as though there is no chance of it exiting anytime soon. So a balance of creative expression like art and music, but there's more that is a bit more personal. Not necessarily anything that you would broadcast per se. but you would still be in the now. Set that intention. And you can be in the now in your garden, your actual physical garden, as well as that inner garden, arranging flowers, going for a hike, treating yourself to a coffee date, doing a bit of reading about the golden nuggets you hold sacred. A walk on the beach. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. And everything goes full circle. Comes and goes full circle. Seeding your light. Working your light. And all of our light is significant. Every seeding of the light is significant. I often imagine that I may even, whoop, the focus went out. What was that? The energy. Whoa. You see that? I often feel like I may even kind of look like this lady in this image in my crone stage. She has like a almost androgynous beauty to her, and very little effort to just seed her light without all the fancy regalia, without the war paint, the makeup, the war paint, and the regalia. She just showed up and showed out, working her light. And we're being encouraged to do the same with a balance. But this comes first. And now I just heard the last will now come first and the first will be last. So pouring into the cup first. Seeding that light according to our divine plan. And then coming out of those caverns with more creative self-expression. That again, as we nourished ourselves, we are also paying it forward, nourishing those around us with enough to share. Laser focused and mission focused in the now. The now is all there is. So there's no need for putting things off until tomorrow because tomorrow may not even ever come. 4004 was on the timer as I said that. So we're going to draw this to a close with a mirroring number to remind us that the multiverse is mirroring us. With a message of encouragement and support. Ooh, all of this hard work is paying off. And as I just said, the first will be last and the last will be first. Abundance and success. And a sign to continue to focus on our work ethics and putting in more effort towards these goals. Emphasizing stability and foundations. And aligning our conscious desires with divinely guided. As the beginning three numbers, 400, emphasizes and lays out our soul's mission and purpose. And the entire number gives us the motivation towards our work ethics. Requiring a certain level of appreciation for our efforts. Utilizing the messages to acquire stronger work ethic. And we're not necessarily talking about the matrixy jobs and meaningless conversations that we used to engage in. This is more like working on overcoming the ego, or at least tempering the ego, getting a handle on it, and that aim towards self-mastery. Speaking deeply on our ability to continue to do good. As that is part of the divine plan, our soul's mission. One of our many assignments. Applying ourselves to our soul's mission. And in doing so, and by living in the now, in our truth, in the truth, we will find ourselves receiving many more gifts from the universe. Our higher selves have taken a keen interest in our skill sets. This number also represents the very will, duties, and active participation of our higher selves. But they're not doing the work for us. For crying out loud. People really need to stop mincing our words. It doesn't serve anyone. If it sounds like a word salad, go tend to your own garden. We're being guided to continue preparing ourselves for the various changes. And because we are in this 3D distorted matrix reality, we don't have to be of it. But there are financial implications, beloveds. Let's just keep it a buck. Opening our heart towards the reception. To acquiring better knowledge and courage to conquer the astrals, the dream worlds, to return to Summerland, to return to Summerland. Summerland is mirroring us right now. Resonating concepts of loyalty, mystery, trustworthiness, conservation, and productivity. Although we are not measured by our productivity, it is just a reference point that is meant for us and us alone. With determination, honesty, and integrity, truth, authenticity, helping us to have self-control, a stronger moral compass, and also trusting that inner wisdom. By relating to these celestial beings and ancestors, not by worship, but by some reverence, and why it can impact our lives in a positive manner. Finding it easier to love our lives. Becoming more charismatic even. Having the upper hand in everything that we do. Upper hand meaning not handing our power over to lower densities, lower frequencies, lower bandwidths, lower spirits, lower selves. making us even ideal suitors for others in this earthly construct. We can rely on our abilities, beloveds. We will find peace and serenity in the things that we do. Seeding the light, laying foundations. That is the message. There it is. That's it. Thank you so very much, beloved cosmic multiversal soul familia, for doing this cosmic work with me. And yes, with much reverence, gratitude, and appreciation. Thank you so very much. And brightest of blessings from my heart chakra to yours.